All right then, a pretty much full Amar setup that won. Was that a good Amar setup, or was it just like a comedy mixed bag that just happened to win?
It looked more of a okay
Yeah.
setup that went against a terrible setup.
All right.
Just wiped the floor.
Well, why was it bad?
Wow. Dominic's has come up.
Yeah, fair enough.
He could do a lot better.
I think it will also had, was it Armored Tank Nighthawks?
I believe that's what I heard.
For if someone isn't that familiar with EVE Online, if they're sitting right now in Empire,
Perhaps like the last teams that just played.
perhaps like the last teams, if someone's sitting in Empire right now in their Raven with medium lasers going, why isn't Armored Tank Nighthawk bad? Why? Just to...
Ships are designed with certain fittings in mind based on race. Different stats like power grid or turret slots or capacitor regeneration, all that goes towards defining a role for the ship. And most of the time, but not all the time, trying to shoehorn it to a role which it was not designed to do is not going to end well.
And there's resistance bonuses, for example, on a Nighthawk to shields. It has less low slots, so it really doesn't make a lot of sense to build a armored tank Nighthawk, whatever that may have been.
Fair enough. That was a strange battle. Let's hope the next one it makes a little bit more sense. It's Voltron versus Ronin, which should probably be a really, really good one. But so I rudely interrupted you, Sastro, before. We were talking about making ice a 0.0 only.
I was about to launch into a big diatribe. And,
Go for the diatribe. You have all the time in the world.
What was I talking about? I think actually, with a little bit of thought, I kind of think it would be a great idea right now. Now, I know this is such a huge, massive change. We don't know if this is going to happen or what's going to happen.
Yeah, just to make clear, this isn't something that's currently going into the game. It's something we're talking about.
We're going to theory craft about this for a minute. And just rolling it over my head, I think it's going to impact a lot of things that we want to change right now. Right now, nothing goes back and forth between Empire and Nullsec, except really everything coming out into Nullsec and only moon minerals going back into Empire. This is going to give a sort of back and forth economy going on. So I think it'll mix up the economy a little bit. That'll be interesting. It'll get more people out in 0-0 just doing stuff. You'll have maybe mining ops, people doing things for themselves, also being targets for people who want to blow them up. More people in space is good, I think, in general. It'll also influence things that people don't like about the current state of 0-0. Huge, if ice moves out to 0-0, I'm presuming that ice will become much more expensive. That'll make moving huge blobs of capitals and supercaps around much more expensive. It'll also mean running huge piles of towers that people have to shoot more expensive. I think it touches so many different things that we want to change that if you moved all the ice down to 0-0, I'd like the end result of it.
I have to agree. I mean, it'll give opportunities for smaller gangs to, go out there and find the ice miners. It'll force alliances to run belt protection again. I mean, when I started in the illustrious Knights of the Southern Cross Alliance, before I raised to the rank of a defense minister in this honorable and well-respected alliance, we used to daily run belt protection duties in my Frutex, and that's where I got my PvP experience. It was great.
All right, that's a little bit of Shadow history that not many people may have known. Defense Minister of Knights of the Southern Cross. That is a bit of history. We do have some questions, and of course you guys are really great at answering questions, but we do also have another expert who is really great at answering questions. And if I could just quickly get my bat phone to kill two. Could I just quickly, thank you very much. Let's just grab a question from the forum. Hold on 2 seconds. Let's see, K-I-L-L-2. That's how it works. All right, Kill 2, are you there?
Hi.
Hello.
CCP Soundwave, can you hear me?
Yes, I can absolutely hear you. How are you doing today?
Doing good. Can I help you?
Yeah, you definitely can. Where are you at right now?
That's a really good question. I could be in a fish tank.
I think you might be in the library of really smart EVE people.
Of course I am.
Of course you are. So we have a few questions on the forums. One of them is, some of the Marauders are great ships, like the Vargar. Why haven't there been any of those?
That's a good question. I really think it just has to come back to the main problem we have with battleships, which is that they're overpriced relative to other really strong ships, like a lot of the battlecruisers and command ships. Yes, they're good, but I think that generally you can get the job done more efficiently with smaller ships, as well as the problem they have with ECM vulnerability.
All right, thank you very much, Kiltu. I think we have just one more question from the forums we can pitch to you, since you are in the library of complete EVE Online knowledge. Why do we see scimitars and guardians?
You just said scimitar.
I just said scimitars as the most popular.
Well done, friend. Well done.
Armor and. All right.
This scimitar.
Yeah, the scimitar and the guardian are the most popular logistics ships, respectively. Why do we not see Orneros, for example?
We do see a little bit of Oneros, but generally the problem you have is that the scimitar is going to do a better job in a shield tank setup because it's fast and it kind of fits the general theme. It gets the same. It's going to tank in shields as well, which is good because you're going to get command bonuses for shields. Whereas the Oneros is going to want to tank in shields, even though it's supporting armor, so it doesn't help with your bonuses, and it doesn't really behave the same way the rest of your team will. It runs a weaker tank generally than a guardian would. And, for the scimitar, you don't want the basilisk because the scimitar can move around a lot better. Lower sig, and that might not be true. I'll have to check a book in the library, but definitely faster. So.
All right, well, thank you very much, Kill2 from the Moon. Let's
Yeah.
just get rid of this one. That was a new segment here on EVE TV where we call an expert who is sitting somewhere like a library or the moon or a fish tank, and they'll answer a random question from the forums. Okay. That was a quality segment. I don't think that there's any broadcast on regular TV that won't pick this up somehow. They'll all be watching. Anyway, the next match we have is Voltron versus the Ronin. The Ronin have been a little bit disappointing this tournament. Are they going to make a difference? Do Voltron care at this point?
Oh, Voltron's a shoe-in right now, so I don't think they're going to go and throw the match, but they might not be too concerned about showing their best setup right now. That's for sure.
We were talking about shoe-in, but they're actually not.
No,
Are they
it's all open.
Yep. If the Ronin win this one, they could overtake Voltron, and if Power 2 win
you're
against
right.
Agassault,
That is true.
then we're actually going to have a real fight on our hands.
Yeah, if Voltron lose here, it'll come down to points, and the next match is going to be very interesting afterwards. Then again, Voltron hasn't yet lost a match this tournament, but today seems to be the day for surprise.
We have seen a couple unexpected things happen, but I think Voltron's a better team than the R0 Nin. I'm going to go with them. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we certainly will.
I'm going to go with Voltron, though. We could see an upset here. I mean, Ronin have been around forever in different names and forms in this alliance. They're certainly the more experienced of these. Then again, a Voltron team has a lot of older members and so on and so forth. But I'm going to go for Voltron as well.
Interesting. What say you, Grayskull?
I'll go with Ronin. I think I'd like to see him pull it out of the bag. It would be, I like upsets. And I think they've got it in them to do it. So.
All right. I think I'm going to go with Voltron as well. On the subject of 0.0, if we could just
You keep getting me off my...
randomly go back to it. So, mining ice, for example, will be a fun, unique resource. What else should primarily just happen in 0.0? What else is home for 0.0?
I think we should see more rare resources come out of 002. Stuff that, because it's harder and riskier to acquire any resources out there, you should get more valuable stuff. So what I would like to see is maybe more planetary interaction, or the better PI stuff come out of 00 than you can get in Empire or LoSec.
Maybe more focused planetary interaction as well. If we look at, and we talked about this a little bit, about the production, Wormholes, Tech 3, Empire, Tech 1, 00, Tech 2.
Yeah, that's one of the ideas we've been knocking around. It still needs refinement, and I don't think we'd do any exclusivity, but tuning different areas of space towards different kind of areas of production gives you more interesting dynamic. There's trade, there's give and take. You want to do something someplace, something other places. Messing with that would be interesting.
I mean, it's a good point brought up by Shadu as well. Like, we have we have an output difference between Empire and 0.0 in terms of the numerical value you push out of the same stuff. Would there be any sense in adding unique materials to all three different areas of space?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to. The first thing I'd want to see is look at doing some more stratification of the existing minerals. I think, for instance, ions are still in an odd place. Like it's the way we've got the distribution, where they come from different places now. Currently, it doesn't seem like mining in nullsec is as lucrative as we'd want it to be. There's a lot of stuff like that, and the existing stuff and how it's balanced out. We've talked about data cores and where data cores come from. That's something that we could tweak around. Right. And then maybe look at some more unique new stuff as well, especially if we can find some stuff to use it for. Like nullsec is ripe for small resources, I think. So.
Interesting. Well, we'll see where it goes. So we've given off our votes for this match. Let's go see who wins.